Hey guys, this is Tucker at Mac Kiteboarding, bringing you yet another Parawing review here at Mac Kite, helping you guys know what's the latest and how things are working for the different products we have coming this year. And today we're talking about the Duotone Stash. So we're not talking about a stash, we're talking about a stash, like you're packing it away. So the Duotone Stash is a unique wing in parawinging in that it's a single skin, but has dual skin wingtips. So that was something that was really exciting for us to try out. It's the first time we've ever seen something like this. And obviously it's Duotone's first parawing in the market. So they're generally pretty great about releasing awesome products, really respect their design team. So we're excited to get this one. So let me take you a minute, walk you through it, and then tell you a little bit about my experience on the Stash. So we'll start at the bar here. This harness loop doesn't come included. I just haven't taken it off because it's a little bit of a pain in the neck to do that. But if you can imagine it without this Mystic harness loop here, we'll be good to go. We have the nice blue grippy bar. It's kind of an oval shape. If you know their wings, you'll be familiar with this from their handles and boom. We have a little purple stripe here on the front. That's going to designate that that's the top of the bar. That's where you're going to hang on to it a lot of times. It's a little bit covered up with a harness line if you're using that. So you'll want to look at your color-coded bridle line sets to indicate that for you if you're covering up the purple one and can't figure it out, or if you're using a harness line, you know that's the end that goes up. So that makes sense. So the rear is red, mids are blue, and the fronts are gray. That's going to make it really easy to set up your lines and untangle them if that ever happens. I will say that this bar is nice in that it doesn't add to the tangle situation more than it needs to. It's got nice round edges. Stuff falls right off this. You know, it works pretty well. These bridles from Duotone are a bit softer and thinner than some of the others. They're a bit more spaghetti-ish. So I would say, you know, maybe these are slightly more inclined to tangle based on my experience. But it's not such a thing that it's annoying to me. They do pack down a little smaller. It's a little lighter on the bridle side, so that's nice. Yeah, yet to be determined, but they slide through the hands pretty nicely. And then once you get to the splits here, it's pretty easy to hang on to them once you get all those extra bridles. If you try to hang on up here, it's a little bit slick. So when you're closing it down, you'll at least want to get up to here before folding it in. The disattachment of the bridles here into the bar, you pop this little plug and pull it out. There's a little loop knot in there. You can untie that, and that's how I got my harness line on here, and partially why I don't want to take it off, because it takes a minute and you need a screwdriver or something to pop that bit out. But not super hard, not as hard as some of the others to do that. If you need to sort out your bridles, make a repair, or put a harness line on your bar. So that works quite well. Getting into, I guess I can show you the bag real quick. This comes in a nice basic kind of stuff sack with some venting. So you're not paying extra for an expensive bag. It has some venting to help dry the wing and get the sand out of there. Getting into the canopy, we are predominantly this magenta color. We have the white indicator on the leading edge. So that's going to tell you where the center of your leading edge is. Our trailing edge has this white stripe. So if you see the white stripe, you know that's the trailing edge. Now this wing does not have color-coded wingtips, so you don't really know if you're grabbing the right or the left side, but usually knowing what the center is, knowing what the leading edge is really your most important part. So as long as this isn't hidden up somewhere, I think, you know, this does the trick. It's not as idiot-proof as some of the other color coding, but it's nice that they give you some kind of coating rather than just only magenta here on the canopy. We do have some stiffening plastic in the leading edge here, so that's going to help form that leading edge, make it nice and efficient so you can go upwind well and help increase your range. When you're packing it down for the day, putting it away, just be a little careful of these. Don't smash them, just kind of do one of these and then fold it up. if you're gonna do some long-term storage. If you're packing it down into a fanny pack just to ride out a wave and you're gonna pull it out again in that session, don't stress about that too much, but that will help extend the life and performance of your wing if you take care of those plastic leading edge stiffening cords inside of there for the long-term packing. Now, to the exciting part. Oh, never been so excited about a wingtip in my whole life. So what we have here is a dual skin Parawing wingtip. This is the first time I've seen any Parawing company do this. And it's a unique idea because the air comes into this front vent and fills up the wingtip with air pressure, and that adds some stiffness and rigidity to the wingtip. So if you watch a lot of wingtips out there parawinging, when you're getting overpowered, they can tend to fold in, or sometimes if you're just standing there and you don't quite have the proper sail angle, they can have a tendency to flap and kind of move in. So this helps negate that. It does give a little bit more structure to the wing, especially on the tip as you're riding. So the idea is to make this wing more smooth flying and make it gain some usability and range as well because of the stiffness in the wingtips. Now, after riding it, I would say that they've accomplished that goal quite well. It does seem to add some stability. It does seem to help reduce wingtip collapse, although not totally eliminate it. So I think, you know, they accomplished their goal there. That's not to say that every wing should have a dual skin wingtip though. I would say, you know, for people that are spending a lot of time in the water, relaunching, it's not an ideal feature for that because you can get water inside there and then the wing doesn't fly very well. It might be weighted to one side or it might not want to fly well, especially in lighter winds. In high winds, I find, you know, it sheds off the interior of that dual skin quite well. But if you're riding in lighter conditions, it might cause the wing to not want to fly well or fall to one side. And then since you don't have so much air coming in, it doesn't evacuate the water quite as easily on the wingtips. So it's, you know, a give and a take with that feature. I think it does make it harder to pack down just slightly. You know, it takes a minute for that air to evacuate when you're packing it down. It's not going to fold into quite as small of a space as it could without that feature. So it's up to you to determine, you know, do I really need that? Do I not? What are my conditions looking like? What do my actual, you know, day-to-day riding look like? Outside of that, I would say the Stash is a good kind of middle of the road wing. It's relatively easy to fly and stable, assuming you have it out in proper winds. It does have an okay range for parawings. I would say, you know, in terms of range and stability, it does both quite well, which is a hard thing to do in parawings. Sometimes you can gain the range, but then they're a little more unstable and hard to fly. And sometimes you can have a really easy, stable wing to fly that really struggles in the top end of its range or difficult to get upwind. So I think they did a nice job blending some of those performances and giving you a cool opportunity for that. Going back to the drawing board, I would have liked to see them add a little bit more color coding on the bar. I would have liked to see them explore some different colors on the canopy to help indicate right and left and maybe a bit more in the leading edge, just so we know where that stuff is. But I think Duotone did a great job on this first release, bringing some innovative ideas into Parawing and solving some problems that some of the other wings are having. So if that sounds interesting to you, pick one up, give us a call at the shop. We'd be happy to talk to you about Parawings and whether this one would fit your need well and whether we suggest it. But as always with Duotone, it's high quality stuff, nicely designed, and we look forward to seeing lots of people on the water with the Stash. This has been Tucker with Matt Kite. We'll see you next time.